Please excuse my dusky voice. I'm sick as a dog at the moment, but like they say, grams of G Fuel.
That particular sequence happened to me in one of my fights against Dan Hardy. The guy went for an armbar and his opponent was able to escape and came back on top. So what we're seeing, it was pretty real. Hi GQ, I'm Georges Saint-Pierre and this is the breakdown. First up, Warrior. The goal in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is to control our opponent without hurting him. However, what is good about it, if our opponent refuses to comply while we have control over him, we have the power to hurt him really bad. We can hurt him in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with submission hold, like breaking a limb, or strangulation as well, so he can pass out. And so it's a very soft martial art, but it could be also very violent. And the Jiu-Jitsu means the art of softness. A little bit like Bruce Lee used to say, like, be like water, my friend. Like, go with the flow, and that's the mentality of Jiu-Jitsu. Shoot! Shoot him! You hear the corner screaming, shoot, shoot. When they say shoot, they mean it's a move when you have the fighter going low, attacking the leg of his opponent to throw him down. Shoot! Shoot him! Shoot him! This is called a double leg takedown. This is a technique that is mostly used in wrestling. It's actually one of my favorite techniques that I use a lot during my career. The idea is if you want to bring your opponent down, it's a little bit like when you want to bring a tree down. You cut it from the bottom and it falls down. It's the same thing. So when you want to bring your opponent down, you attack the bottom part of his body. You attack the leg because you need the leg to stand up. So you attack the leg and it's easy to make him fall down. Our hero is going for a submission hold that we call the Kimura. The Kimura it's a lock that is made to break the rotator cuff of a person. If the person don't tap, obviously. The reason why his corner is screaming at him, use your hips, it's because they want him to use all his body, not only his arm, to execute the Kimura, because all the power of the body comes from the hips. You don't want to only use your arm, you want to use your entire body to create the pressure. It's actually a great advice. Turn your hips down! Turn your hips in! Turn your hips in! In an actual MMA fight, the coach are allowed to scream advice. So you hear your coach and you also hear your opponent's coach. So you know what kind of advice your opponent is receiving as well. And the advantage for me is that I speak French, and when I compete in UFC, I speak a little bit of Portuguese and Spanish as well. So I was always able to understand the advice of my opponent coaches, but they were not able to understand the advice that was given to me. So it was an advantage for me.
Yeah, this is easy. Divide and conquer, right? Here we go. Oh, no, come on. Small sacrifice there. You are mine. Taking your stuff with me. And I can take these guys and their stuff just like that. And double the size of my island. Why are there so many people here?
now we see that he's holding the lock for a very long time. Normally, that will not happen. If it's well executed, it takes about maybe a second for the person to tap. Otherwise, he will have his arm broken. But of course, I guess for the purpose of the movie, they stretch it out a little bit. The key to apply a submission hold is to isolate the limb of your opponent. So your opponent is immobilized and he cannot move, and you have full control over his limb. If the technique is well executed, you will be able to break somebody's limb. However, it already happened to me in a fight that I had someone in a Kimura, but I was not able to immobilize and pin my opponent well, so the position was loose. He was able to move in a way that he was taking more range of motion, but in the position that we're seeing now is very well executed. Actually, the choreography is perfect. So it would be impossible for his opponent to try to get out. Normally, in fighting in mixed martial art, there is a non-written rule in between the fighter that if they get an armbar, they will normally leave a split second to their opponent to tap. They will not immediately try to break it on the spot. I mean, not everybody respects that rule, but I do, because we're all competitor and we just want to win. We don't want our opponent to get an injury that can leave him out of competition for maybe more than a year sometimes. Let's skip ahead until later in the movie. So now we have our hero. He's on the bottom in a position called the guard. In mixed martial art, it doesn't mean if you're on the bottom that you're losing the fight. Sometimes, yes, you can lose the fight because if you're in the guard, that means you have your legs wrapped around your opponent. Your opponent on top has the gravity to his advantage, so he can land strike. However, from the bottom in that position, you have the possibility of doing many submission hold, and that's what we're about to see now. So he went to Jujigatami from the bottom, then he switched to what we call an omoplata. And he used the omoplata to get back on top position. When they say the seatbelt,
man about town,
to wrap his arm around his opponent's waist in order to immobilize him, to pin him better. So when he applies pressure, his opponent cannot go with the pressure and have a bigger range of motion. You want to make sure you pin the body before you apply a submission hold. His opponent refused to tap, so he broke his shoulder. Normally in a fight, when a limb breaks, the referee will stop the fight for the fighter. So otherwise the guy will not be to win. That's the argument.
more where that came from.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm the fake! I'm the fake!
Fighting after the bell ring or after the referee stops the fight, you will normally be automatically disqualified. You won't be disqualified if you dislocate someone's shoulder if your opponent refuses to tap, because that's his fault. You know, my last fight, I had a guy in a strangle hold, and he refused to tap. So what happened is he passed out, and the referee stopped the fight, and I won the fight. But if he would have tapped and I would have put the lock on and made him pass out, now I would probably have my victory taken away from me and be banned on top of it with any other problem. I don't think there is any movies in combat sport that are 100% accurate. They always need to make it more spectacular and more that way. but it's actually a good movie. I watched it many times. I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy. Yeah, good movie. Really
Did that one have a bounty? No. Sure. Trigger fingers getting tired over here.
I am a huge fan of Keanu Reeves, and I think Keanu Reeves is fantastic. And I don't know if it's really I'm sure he does mixed martial arts or jiu-jitsu because when I see him doing the move, it indicates me that he has experience. It's not everybody that can perform those moves. What happened there is called a flying Ujigatami. It's a flying up bar. It's a very spectacular move. With this move, the guy voluntarily threw himself in the air and fall on the bottom by positioning himself with the arm bar. It's just well executed. It's the technique that you can learn over the bar. An arm bar, and there's different kinds of arm bar, is when you use your entire body like a liquid. And you put pressure on the joint. It's not immobilized.
Ron, be distracted, will you?
And with your hand, you apply a pressure that goes beyond the range of motion. However, doing the count sweep is a very risky move because when you do this, if you miss, your head will hit the floor and you can knock yourself out. But it's actually a real move. And some guys have actually performed this in an actual...
This can't be how you saw this going. Back away.